Hi everyone, back today with another video. This is another gold making video. This one is to do with the Lunar Festival. So it is a short-lived sort of option for gold making. But the bright side is that if you've got alts and you run this on each of the alts, you can get a few of these pets. So this year there is a new mount and a new pet. The new mount is soulbound, but it does look awesome, to be fair. So these what you do is you collect the coins from the elders, and these coins you exchange them for the pet or the mount. The mount requires 75 coins and the pet requires 50. But these getting these coins requires a ton of flying, lots and lots of flying around from place to place. And I really think most people won't be stuffed getting enough coins to get both the pet and the mount. I think if people are doing this, they're doing it to get the mount. But I think that there's a real good gold making opportunity for those people who just don't want to fly around and collect the coins they need to buy the pet. So I went and did this myself. There is a quest where if you go, you charge like this wand thing. It only takes like, I don't know, 15 minutes with the flying to do that first quest. And it gives you 25 coins and you need 50 for the pet. So you just do that quest, and when you're doing it, you fly around and you speak to the elders along the way. I'm using the Handy Notes add-on, the one for the Lunar Festival, and it just shows me where all the elders are essentially for this. So it's pretty easy. It just requires loads of flying, but most of the elders are at flight paths. Not all of them, but lots of them are. You can basically just go from flight path to flight path and AFK in between. So if you've got the time to back and forth, with the quest that gives you the 25 coins, you do need to do it inside the hour. You get like a little buff and you have to do it in that time frame. So this is just like a little tangent here. I killed the boss inside the area just to see if it gave me any coins or anything. It didn't. It did give me a buff, which, probably great if you're doing mythics or a raid to get that free buff there, but it didn't give me any additional coins. I did get the coin for killing it, but there was no drops there, so it's not worth sitting and farming that boss. So I just flew around for a bit and charged up the wand and spoke to the elders while I was doing it. So this mount it's like a giant firecracker. It's like a giant firework basically that you ride around, and the pet looks like a little lantern, and it is a battle pet. So I don't do battle pets myself. I collect them when they're there and I sell them when they make good profit, but I don't actually do the battle pet. So I don't know what's so great about it. I suspect it's just people who want everything and don't want to go get the coins themselves. But if you're somebody who's super into battle pets, let us know in the comments. If you've looked at this pet, what is so great about it in particular? Is it just a collection type item, or is it actually pretty good for the pet battles? So for the charge the wand quest, you have to stand in the water. You can see me doing it here. Most of them are on the island that you go to for the Lunar Festival, and one of them is in Darkshire. So I just did all the ones close to where the initial teleportation was, and then once I'd finished that, I just hearthstoned back to the Isle of Dawn, took the portal to Stormwind, and flew over to Darkshire. So it was pretty easy, Darkshore. So it was pretty easy in terms of getting around, and having had the flight paths for a lot of the spots made it really a lot easier. I tried the difference between the speedy flying and the slow flying, and it really just depends. You got to pick it zone by zone. Some of them are really full of mountain ranges, and going over those high mountains with the skywriting flying is just a good way to use up all your little flight bubbles and not make it to the top of the mountain. So I was switching back and forth depending on really the zone, but it did go a bit faster being able to make that switch between the two. I did get loads of these little red envelopes. They seem to just have a moonstone in it or the fireworks. I think one of the fireworks, if you set it off, gives you a buff. I could be wrong. That could be old knowledge. It might not be applicable to this time around. Let us know if there's anything useful to do with those fireworks other than pretty. So there's 125 coins you can get per character with this Lunar Festival. So if you've got an alt army, you could probably get a bunch of these and your mount, a bunch of these pets and your mount. But it is possible to get one of these pets and one of these mounts with the amount of coins available if you're looking to collect it yourself. And that's definitely, if you've got the time and that's a bit easier, it's going to save you a bit of coin. But if you're one of those people who would rather spend your time doing the things you super enjoy, and that's not flying around to different flight points, you can definitely purchase it off the auction house. I'm sure a couple of people will get on this once they realize that the pet is selling for over 100,000 gold. I've just listed mine, and I show you at the end of this video. I list mine, and it's listing for 110,000 gold. And there's only two other people on my server anyway who are selling them at present. I am on Calistrad's, so an Australian server, an Oceanic server. So it will be different server to server, depending on how populated they are. So check the auction house really before you go and see how much the lantern is on your server. There are also elders in the new zone on the Isle of Dawn and those areas. There's two per zone there, so you can collect those, and there's an achievement. I flew around and collected them. You get an achievement for getting all of them, but you do get two per zone up there if anybody's interested in achievement collecting. If you're finding this video entertaining or helpful, please give it a like and subscribe. That's super helpful for the channel and it's free for you. It tells the algorithm who else to show this video to. I've also just recently unlocked memberships for this channel. We're having a bit of a play with that to see how it goes. But if you want content like this before everybody else gets it, sign up to those memberships. There are different tiers there. You can choose what you enjoy. Or you can just choose the support the channel option. So it's totally up to you. You can watch for free or you can get the content early, but I won't hide everything behind a paywall. So it's just going to be a couple of days early and then it'll come to everyone else. So it really depends on what you want to do here. I'm probably shooting myself in the foot with that kind of information. But the goal here is to help you, but it would be good to help finance this channel. I've done a lot of things like bought a new computer and bought a microphone. It gets very expensive very quickly. And it's just helpful to have those options there if people feel like helping out. So I'm just showing you how much the Lantern 4 lists for on my server. I'm just double checking before I go and purchase it. I did check the Undermine exchange, but I wanted to just be sure and see myself. So I went and checked it before I went and picked it up because, the mount is a giant firework. So I was really tossing up about that. But in the end, I went for helping to pay for my subscription. I don't know how long it's going to take to sell this pet. It is a big ticket item. People don't usually just drop 100,000 gold willy-nilly. So we'll see how it goes. And I will post a video when it does sell to show you how much it sold for. I'm hopeful it won't take too long because there's really not a lot of competition at present for it. So hopefully I can sell a couple before it becomes really popular. I think even if it does a couple of months from now, it'll be worth a lot because people are really quite limited as to how many of these they can get. You need a range of alts with the ability to fly really to make it worthwhile. It would probably be a good way to level an alt. I imagine if you're not max level like I am, you'd get experience for those quest turn-ins as well. So that's just an idea there. This is just a reminder, most battle pets are soulbound when you pick them up. You have to learn them and then put them in a cage. So just in case anybody has that question that has popped up a couple of times, you have to learn it and then go into your pet list and then put it in a cage before you can sell it. So just make sure you do that. You can put it on the auction house. I'm putting it on the auction house right here. So you can definitely sell it. Well, assuming somebody wants to buy it, you can definitely list it on the auction house. There are a lot of gold making opportunities coming up. So this Lunar Festival, it goes until the 11th of February, but we also have the Dark Moon Fair coming up and Lovers in the Air. So there's going to be a couple of more short-term options for gold making, and I'm going to make videos about how you can do that. But those two things, the Dark Moon Fair and Lovers in the Air, happen at the same time as the Lunar Festival. So that just increases the chances that people aren't giving this pet too much attention as they go to the other easier to collect items. So have a check yourself and see what you can do about trying to participate in some of those extra events because there's definitely a lot of gold to be made. And I'll make videos on specifically how when they come up and when I'm doing it just to show you. And like I said, I'll be putting those videos out a couple of days early so the people who are members get a head start with those higher prices. So that's all for today. Like and subscribe if you found this helpful or enjoyable. And as always, remember, girls don't play WoW.